Hello and welcome back to Silverlöpning episode 2. My name is John Barley, yes, and welcome. Yeah, as you can see, I'm right outside the Great Woods Gallery. But why am I here? Well, you just saw it in one of the clips. I found a wood carving in the woods while I was exercising my horses. And I brought it here to the gallery, and they said yes, they have lost all these wood carvings which belong into here. They didn't go into much detail about why, but they are willing to pay me 50,000 for each piece, which I retrieve. So this sounds like a good deal. But what else happened since we last saw you? Well, what you didn't see is that I cleared all the iron ore from the mine and brought it to either my iron furnace or directly to Sweden exports and sold it directly. I upgraded my Lindner tractor a little bit with a front loader and a weight. You will see it later on. I started clearing some wood around my yard, but not all clips, but all the clips, they weren't very well, they didn't work out very well, so you only saw one before, and you saw me selling, yeah, you saw me selling the wood at the different sell places. So I went to the southern sawmill, to the north, to the old sawmill, and also to the wood factory, and sold a couple of wood which I cut down in my yard. But what we will do now, first thing, is start off with the harvest, because yesterday you saw it in the clip when I sold the wood at the north, so it's the old sawmill, not the north sawmill. Basically it rained pretty much all through yesterday afternoon, so it wasn't the best time to do the harvest contract. So yeah, I used that time to cut down wood and sell it, and yeah, now it's the right time to do the harvest contract, which is this field over there. Yeah, what I also did buy is a small trailer for my truck. You saw it in the clips, which when I bought it, and also I used it to transport the wood to these different sawmills and sell places. But yeah, no, there is no really but. I started using a 6 meter log, and I saw yeah, okay, it overhangs quite much over the back. Then I reduced it to 5 meter logs, and I thought, well, might work, but it didn't really work. It was very rear heavy, so it lifted up the rear wheels of my truck, of my pickup. Yeah, and I think it rolled over twice when I was going downhill, just gently braking, and well, it rolled, which was not too pleasant. So I continued with 4 meter logs, which turned out to be quite well working. What else happened so far? Oh yeah, I leased a wood chipper, which is currently at my my main farmyard. It's basically used for wood chipping the dead wood, which is also on my plot. I don't get much from it, but it's better than nothing. I used this wood chipper here. Where is it? There, the Jens BA725D, which is a mod by Camillus 0397. I decided to use this one instead of the standard in-game one because it's basically a fraction of the price of the standard in-game one. The standard in-game one is 190,000 to buy and 10,000 to lease, whereas this one is 64,000 to buy and only about 3,500 to lease. And based on the fact that you don't get much wood chips off the dead wood, I thought it would be more reasonable to go for the cheaper solution, which is the modded version. Right. So this one is at my main yard, and you will see later. I just leased it, and yes, that's what I wanted to tell. I leased it, and soon after I leased it, it turned up in the used machinery sales, but I will not buy it even used. It's only now 20,000. I could afford it, but I don't know what I will gain from it when I sell it, and my plan is to buy the old sawmill up north, which has a wood chipper installed, and from that point on I will put all the bits which I want to wood chip through that wood chipper at that sawmill. And so that's why it doesn't make sense to buy the big wood chipper now. Leasing it's a very low leasing rate. I think it's only 200 per day or something like that, and which is absolutely acceptable, and I can afford that. So yeah, that being said, I think I will continue doing this harvest here, and I'll talk to you when the harvest is done. So see you later. Hello, welcome back. So I'm just harvesting the last bit of the last row from what's left of that sorghum harvest. I cut the clip. I mean, it was already 50. I was already 15 minutes in, and even if I do the time lapse by ×8, it would be like 4 minutes of me. Or it is right now almost 4 minutes of me harvesting, going up and down the field. So I cut it short, and so you're now well, basically at the end of it, the field is completely harvested, and we will now deliver the last bit of that sorghum to the sell point and complete that contract. And from that on we will move forward and extend our equipment, because something I forgot to mention earlier is, you saw it in the clip at the very beginning of the video, that I also bought some forestry equipment and upgraded the Valtra tractor to my forestry tractor, actually. Oops. So I upgraded it to the forestry tractor. It has now a front winch, and it has that cable yard tower thing on it. So it's yeah, now it designated duty is to do that. We have here already 6,000 liters, or 6 drums, which is 6,000 liters of iron. I think we will not quite sell it yet. We will wait until it's a little bit more available, or maybe, well, let's just have a look about the price. Iron, so yeah, roller coaster, boatyard 5.5, Elm Creek 6,000, Barrel Factory 5.4. Yes, Elm Creek with 6,000. I mean, 6,000 multiplied with 6, it's already a good payout. I mean, but the other thing is, we don't have a forklift at the iron furnace yet. And speaking of forklifts, there's another thing which will I explain in a second, but first let us get this sold. We will sell everything, even the part which the amount which is for us, because I have nothing to store it. So let's make the money right away. 3,620 additional income. Contract complete. We hit the $100,000 or euros. It's not dollars, it's euros, because we are in Sweden. So let's put this back here, get back in our pickup, and wrong menu, finish the contract. Yes, collect. Fantastic. So forklifts. I did a little bit of testing off camera with this little forklift over here. That is why there is that container. I really hope it would have been strong enough to lift the container. I bought that pallet fork over here, which is wider and a little bit longer, to lift this up, but unfortunately it didn't lift the empty container. And I definitely want to go into the container business, because they are paying best prices for wood at the container warehouse. Elm Creek is on second place, which means I need to reload everything on a train. I will do it at some point, but not right now. So yeah, I wanted to go into the container business. So, but this means some other things. Yeah, but first things first. Welcome back to our farm. As I mentioned before, I leased that wood chipper, and it's already chugging away. We have like 1,100 liters of wood chips in that trailer. Here is my new designated wood tractor. We still have that Kubota with the mulcher in front, which is right next to it. As I said, my upgraded Lindner with a rear weight, front lifter, and front loader. Here's that trailer. As I said, it was not so really happy with the weight, but when the logs are 5 meter long, it's a lot of weight on the back, and it lifted the back axle of the pickup, which didn't quite work. But with 4 meter logs it works, but 4 meter logs are, well, quite short. I started the Volvo, which was on my ground here, it worked fine, as much so the Komatsu. As you see, it's already cleared quite a bit over here, but things which didn't start was this excavator and that wheel loader. These did not start, neither did all the other bits and bobs around here, but the Volvo started, as well as the harvester. So these two fired up, and now I'm in the point where shall I go next? What shall I invest next? I was thinking about IT runner, but the question is, when I go for an IT runner, will I start utilizing this lorry, the Volvo, immediately, or will I go for the IT runner which goes on the back of the tractor first? I don't know, really. I just need to take a short look in the brochures. Bear with me a second. So here's what I'm thinking about. I mean, I don't want to go for the 2433 IT runner. I will definitely go for the bigger ones. We have this one, which will go on the back of the Volvo. It's a semi-trailer for carrying IT runners. I would like to have the dualies and to make it a, well, proper lorry truck trailer. So it's 62,700. Or I go for the one which goes onto a tractor. I mean, different designs. Color I think can stay, and this is basically 45,000. So I will already save $20,000 if I start with this one. Then I will go for that big container, put it back to the iron mine, and I can load some iron already into that. And I need the forestry bag, which is this one here. And I don't know if this is long enough for the, I mean, I can configure it to this, no problem. But I don't know if it's long enough for carrying, I think that's good. The container, the small container. Well, let's start. I mean, I will add the sides later on. I will start with this one. And then back to trailers. This one, trailer ball, commissioner, BKT, Fleischstein, trailer ball. I think the BKT look best. Main color black, design color, rim color. Yeah, can everything stay like that? License plate, just a random one. This, and now the container, which is this one. Container does not need a license plate. Main color, does it cost to paint it? Yeah. Okay, then we will keep it in green. So these are our new purchases, and well, 62,000. I mean, I now spent the amount which I would have only spent on the IT runner for the lorry alone. So I think this was a good decision. I need to add another 300 later on for the times on the log carrier. But for now, I think I made the right decision. I think I need a front weight for this tractor as well, to carry not to carry, to balance out the IT runner. So let's go back here. Weights 650, 900 kilogram class weight. Perfect, because it's a class tractor. This will work just fine. So I will now load all this stuff up, and we will go to the iron mine and pick up, I mean, we will put all the ore into that container there, leave the container at the iron mine, and we will then pick up our telehandler, which is at the iron mine, because I loaded a lot of iron ore there already. And yeah, and then we will bring the telehandler back here to load up the container onto this thing. Yeah, I mean, now I can take a short look if it is long enough to carry that container. I think it would overhang a little bit. No! Oh, it's a perfect fit. I think even a slightly longer container will fit on it. Fantastic! So, I see you at the iron mine in just a second. So, as we are approaching the iron mine with my setup, it worked quite well. I put the container onto the back of the wood transport, or on transport deck, if you would call it like that, and it worked absolutely fine. It was easy to bring it up here, no issue at all. And well, lots of iron ore already there to be picked up. So unstrap, put that down. Not so sure if I can drive out, and oh yes, I can. Great. So stop this one and get into the little telehandler, and we will now start to load that container with iron ore. And I mean, it's a 2,500 liter bucket, and you can really tell that, well, the small telehandler is struggling with the weight. So it works, but not perfectly. Over there we still have the old Volvo machinery. I still don't know what I shall do with this one. Maybe, I mean, the museum is called a wood gallery. I'm not so sure if they will take these type of machines, but maybe I can make a deal with them that they exhibit them at the museum. I mean, why should they stay here and, well, rust away? But yeah. Oh, another thing which I was told when I was at the shop and bought all that stuff here, so I spent another 60,000 with the shop, for the shop owner, 62,000, and he saw that I helped out with the harvest contract of one of his friends, and so his attitude towards me already improved, and he heard that I was about that the museum told me to the wood gallery that I can collect these wood carvings when I find them, and he gave me a tip that here in the old abandoned mine another of these wood carvings is waiting for me. So I don't know why he knows it. I don't know why he doesn't bring it back to the gallery himself. Yeah, but he just said to me, well, it's there, take it. And I think I will do this in a short while, but first I will load this one up. When that is done, I will take the telehandler to the shop and load the container onto the platform, and I think that is exactly when I will see you again and talk to you again. So, oh yeah, and just for information, I will keep this container here for the time being. I will just now load it up to clear that pile of iron furnace, and then I will sell the iron ore at a later date or bring it to my iron furnace, depending on what needs more to begin with. But we definitely need, I mean, we already upgraded from a 1000 liter to a 2500 liter bucket here, and we need a bigger machine here to load the ore, that's for sure. So yeah, I will see you when this is loaded, and yeah, I will see you back at the shop in just a second. So, hello, welcome back. I'm at the store, and now I hope this thing is still configured to be a telehandler attacher. No. Okay, just a second. Reconfigure. Wheel loader, telescopic handler. And if you're interested, this pallet fork is from... So this pallet fork is, you will find it under wheel loader equipments. It's this one. It's the, well, it's in German. It's the Lizard Loading Equipment Pack by Samsi, and there is this pallet fork. You can extend the forks, and you have all that other equipment also in this pack. Also, you have a lightweight material bucket with 6000 liters for wheel loaders, which I think is quite handy and decent price compared to the other stuff. So, reconfigured. Now it fits the telehandler. Now let's see if I can load up the container to first I will put this thing back onto my trailer, and now container, which side opens? This one is the closed side, this one is the opening side. Okay, I think the forks are still in the right width. In. Oh yes. You can see it's also struggling a little bit with the weight, but it works. It works much better than like with this small one over here, because it lifts its rear axle as soon as you try to raise the container up. But here it works, it's raising the container up to that platform, no big deal. So, and with the all-wheel steer, I think it's also quite good for adjusting the container onto that flatbed. This looks Great. Put it down. Out. Fantastic. For that moment I will leave this one here. Great. Straps. Wonderful. And off to our farm. So here we are. My future plans. I mean, we are basically at the end of this video. My plan is, as you can see, we have some sort of a little plateau here, which is quite flat, and this plateau extends all the way back here. I mean, it's going a little bit up the hill here. But you can see here the slope starts, it's narrowing down, but my idea is to use all that part as arable land. So this will be our first own little field. All the way down here it will be very long and narrow, but this is where we will put our first crop in. But for this, as you see and as you can imagine, I need to cut down some more trees, which I will do now off camera. Speaking about arable land, as I said, I am intending to do some arable to do some arable farming. At the moment, my highest candidate is this one, field 38 or plot 38, because you can have all this section here. It has a slope, yes, but it's not a steep slope and quite flat. I think this is a quite good piece to harvest it and to do farming. And also you have a lot of wood here which you can also harvest, and here this is very steep, very narrow, but you can also cut down some trees here or here around that, and I will think there you can put a shed or a silo for the stuff which you will harvest on here. So plot 38 is a good candidate, and also plot 18, because basically all this stuff here, all up to the road, is more or less flat, as well as the part here and also the part here. The only disadvantage is that, well, it's cut in half by that road and the small river which runs down here, but honestly it's not a big issue. So it's either this land or this land, or maybe not either. Maybe I will start with this land and later on go over here. Yeah, so this is at the moment these two plots I have my eye on, so to speak, with regards to where will I go in the future. But for now, first things first, this plot here, the trees needs to be cleared, and we will I intend to have a field here to start farming. But that is the end of this episode. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, or even to subscribe. Don't drink and drive, and until next time, bye bye.